folks, and welcome to the Daily Ratings weekly movie news podcast. This week's news brought to you by Grab the Cash Now. Yes, let's start with how Vincent Daly called it. Last week on the show, Vin said that he absolutely thinks Universal is going to try to make more Wicked movies. And I was kind of on the fence just because, it's based on the book, it's based off the play, and the story was concluding with Wicked for Good. And Universal already had another major musical in the works with Sabrina Carpenter. But then this week, Universal's head of marketing, Michael Moses, in an interview said this, quote, "Because of Wicked's success, but also the fanship, we have almost a responsibility to figure out how we can continue in this universe. Have we figured it out yet? No, but things are underway." End quote. And in fact, the original stage play composer, Stephen Schwartz, and the co-writer for both films, Winnie Holzman, are already working on spin-off ideas for more movies. It sounds like from multiple people in Universal, continuing the Wicked storyline, spin-off films, and original Oz books are all on the table for more content. So if you're a fan out there, don't worry, Wicked for Good was not Wicked the last. Let's talk some directors now. So Bong Joon-ho, most known for Parasite, and this year's expensive but kind of lackluster Mickey 17. He says that his next project will be coming out in 2027, and it's an animated film. And it's apparently going to be South Korea's most expensive film yet, at around $60 million US. Bong began working on the script in 2018 and completed it in 2021. He then drew the entire storyboard of the film himself, and now production is very much underway. Bong says that it's a very wild and tough job. The project is a dream project of his for over 20 years now. The film will be exploring deep-sea creatures and the relationship between marine life and humans. But other than that, we don't know too much. Werner Herzog just joined the voice cast, which is cool. So although it doesn't come out for another couple years, it still has some people quietly kind of very excited. Real quick now on James Cameron, we reported a few months back that Cameron said that his next picture will be based on Ghosts of Hiroshima, a heavy book based on the bombings in World War II. Cameron was very vocal about it also, but then he came out this week and said he actually never planned on making that movie. He just wanted to hype the book to get it on the bestsellers list because the writer's a friend of his. So there's that. Justin Lin, known for the Fast and Furious films and Star Trek Beyond, he's been tapped by Sony to helm a Helldivers movie. Helldivers is an extremely popular video game franchise, and Sony wishes to capitalize on making it into a film franchise. But video game adaptations are not having a great run lately. Non-game fans can't really get interested, and gamers who are interested have been massively disappointed over and over again. So we'll see what Lin can do. It does feel a little Borderlands-ish, which was a major disappointment and box office failure last summer. If anybody even remembers that was a thing. Lin has a lot of projects in the works also, including a manga adaptation and a comic adaptation of Berserker, a comic that Keanu Reeves is involved in. So unknown right now when to expect Helldivers in theaters, but with Sony's backing, who knows, it might come sooner rather than later. Director Rian Johnson, who we've talked about in the past few weeks, is getting further along with his next project. The film will be a 70s paranoid thriller mixed with some sci-fi. Johnson wrote the whole script and plans to shoot the film next year for release in 2027. Now he's just going to shop it around to get distribution, and the project will be underway. One place he certainly won't be calling is Netflix, as Johnson very much wants his movies to come out at the movies. Director Paul King and his Fred Astaire biopic starring Tom Holland as Astaire, that has hit a snag. Fred Astaire's widow, Robin Astaire, says that they never received approval from the estate to make the biopic. In a legal letter obtained, Robin wrote to Sony producer Amy Pascal that she made it clear she didn't grant permission or authorize the studio to make any portrayal of Astaire. She said, quote, "Fred was explicit in his will that he did not want his life story to be depicted on screen, and that she fully respects and upholds those wishes." So it appears the movie is on ice. We'll see what happens, but I have to say, I kind of respect this. Foregoing what would probably be a pretty large sum of money for the wishes of the man, even though he's been gone for 4 decades, is, I think, quite respectable from the estate and the family and Robin Astaire. Some Paramount projects here. So the studio says that a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle live-action movie is set for 2028, so they're going to be rebooting that, along with another Sonic movie, so that would be Sonic 4 over at Paramount. And Rush Hour 4 apparently has been announced. Believe it or not, from a big push from none other than President Donald Trump. Yes, Trump has become friendly with the Rush Hour director Brett Ratner. Ratner made a Melania Trump documentary that will be coming out this January. Ratner got blacklisted during the Me Too movement, and although he has never had legal action taken against him and any allegations were never proven true, he's had no luck in kind of getting back into Hollywood. Even Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan went to multiple studios trying to pitch and get Rush Hour 4 off the ground, but only now, after Trump put his thumb on the scale with a friendlier Paramount Studios, the film seems to actually be happening. So it sounds like production will happen on the Warner Bros. Side of things, but distribution will be held by Paramount. Then quick actors updates here. So it looks like Scarlett Johansson will be starring in Mike Flanagan's Exorcist reboot. Blumhouse Studio has at least 2 films slated for Flanagan to direct, and Johansson certainly gives that reboot some oomph. And then more Bond updates on who might be Bond. Apparently some news broke that actor Callum Turner is strongly rumored to be the next Bond. But remember, no verification just yet. So Callum is a 35-year-old British actor, possibly most known for dating Dua Lipa currently, but he has major roles in a newly released film, Eternity. He was also in the Apple show Masters of the Air, along with the George Clooney movie The Boys in the Boat, and he's also played a role in multiple Fantastic Beast films. He already has 4 upcoming projects that are underway, so he's definitely a growing name, and it wouldn't be surprising if Amazon goes with a more unknown name rather than some of the A-list stars that people have been talking about. But again, all rumors so far, so we'll leave it there until more news comes out. Let's jump on over to the box office for this past weekend. So the 5th biggest film this weekend was The Running Man with $3.7 million. 4th was Predator Badlands with $4.8 million. 3rd for the weekend was Now You See Me and Now You Don't. That made $7 million. And then we get into the top tier here. So 2nd at the box office was Wicked for Good, making a very impressive $62.8 million. And then the biggest movie this weekend absolutely was Zootopia 2, raking in $96.8 million, but actually for the extended holiday weekend, an extremely good $158 million. And that's with a record-breaking $560 million worldwide for its opening weekend, which is just crazy how popular that franchise is around the world, and even including China. So a very, very good weekend for the theaters, with Wicked and Zootopia pulling some serious weight there. Coming up this Thursday, Vincent Daly will be watching, rating, and reviewing. Get your foxtails and bunny ears on, because both Vin and I watched Zootopia from 2016, directed by Byron Howard and Rich Moore, co-directed by Jared Bush. And then we both hit the theaters for Zootopia 2, directed by Jared Bush and Byron Howard. But that's it for your weekly movie news here. We'll leave you today with a quote from a director, Bong Joon-ho. As a director, or just a film fan who wants to enjoy the festival, Cannes is the worst place to be. But it must be a paradise for distributors and importers. And all right, folks, the Daily Ratings Weekly Movie News Podcast, that was it. See you on Thursday.